Hello student, let us move towards the part 2 of chapter 3, that is introduction to Python. So let us move. So let us start with data type conversion. Sometimes conversion of built-in data type is required. That is, what do you mean by conversion? That means what? One type of data can be converted into the another type. Okay, so the type name as a function can be used to convert between types. In Python, there are various built-in functions available which can be performed conversion from one data type to another. Some of them are listed below. Okay, that means what the some functions are there which convert one form of data into another form. So the first function is this. This is the syntax of the function. You know what you mean by syntax? Way of writing the any instruction. That is what syntax. So what the syntax is like this: int in bracket x into the square bracket base, and the round parenthesis is completed. So what does it means? It means that it converts x to an integer. Base specifies the base if x is a string. Get it? That means what? This x can be converted into an integer. Get it? This? Okay. The second function is long x comma base. This is the syntax. So what does it means? It means that it converts x to a long integer. Base specifies the base if x is a string. Get it? Okay, x जर string असेल तर हा काय specify करतो? Base. The next one is float x. So what do you mean by that? This x is converted into the floating point number. Okay, this x, whatever it may be, it is converted into the floating point number. Get it? Next is complex real comma imaginary. That means what? The real number is converted into the complex number. That means this function creates complex number. strx. So what do you mean by this? It converts object x to a string representation. So whatever may be the x object, it can be converted into the string representation. Okay. The next one is reprx. It converts object x to an expression string. Get it? EVAL. That means what? The opcode. This is the operation code. That means this is a English like word statement. It provides you the conversion function. That means what? Evaluate. This function evaluates a string and returns an object. Tuple x. S is converted to a tuple, and you know that what do you mean by tuple? I explained in last video. List x. That means what? That S is converted into the list. Set S. Similarly, S is converted into the set. DICT. That means what? It creates directory. D must be a sequence of key value tuples. Okay. The D, that means what? It may be a key or value. It is converted into the directory. Frozen set. S is converted to the frozen set. Character S. That means what? An integer, that is x, is converted into the character. Unique character x converts an integer x, which is represented in the round parenthesis, to an Unicode character. Order x, it converts a single character to its integer value. Hex x, it converts an integer number to hexadecimal string. Similarly, oct x, it converts an integer x to a octal string. So what we learned, the functions which are used to convert one type of data into another type. Okay, so now let us move towards the operators that we are using Python. So let us start with the first operator, that is nothing but arithmetic operators. So the operators which are used to perform arithmetic operations that are listed here. So first one is addition, and according to its name, it performs the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and these are the symbol asterisk mark, these are the symbol used for the multiplication, division, slash, it is used for the division, modulus, percentage, and similarly exponents. So these are the arithmetic operators which are used in Python. Now let us move towards the next operator, and that is what? Comparison. The operators which are used to compare two numbers or two data type, that is known as comparison. So equal to, so here we are to use to equal to signs to represent equal to comparison. If the two numbers are equal, then it can be represented by this sign, that means A equal to B, suppose. So A double mark of equal to is equal to B, it is the way of representation. No equal to, that means not equal to, so it can be represented by this syntax. Range, if you want to define the range, then we have to use this symbol. Okay, greater than, you know this very well. Less than, is it? So you are familiar with this symbol, greater than and equal to, less than equal to. So this is the operators used to comparison between two data types. Okay, now next we have assignment operators. If you want to assign one value with another, then you have to use this operator. So this is the operator plus is equal to, that is what? Add and. This is represent subtract and. This is represent asterisk marks and equal to represent multiply and, divide and, modulus and. Okay, then exponent and, floor division. So these are the operators used in Python. So here we have the bitwise operator and binary and, that previously we seen arithmetic and now we are using bitwise. So this is binary and, this represent binary or binary XOR. So to XOR the two bits we have to use this symbol. Then binary ones complement, if you use this, that means the operation which going to perform on the given data is ones complement. This is binary left shift, if you want to shift data to the towards left, then you have to use this. And similarly the below is used to shift the data in right direction. Logical operators are listed here, and logical and. So logical and, okay, this is logical or and this is logical not. These are the logical operator, and or not. Okay, so these are the operators which are used to perform these logical functions. Membership operators such as in, not in. Okay, identity operators such as is, not. Okay. Now let us move towards the general format of decision making structure which are used in a flow chart. Suppose this type of symbol is used in flow chart. So it is a normal code statement, one input and one output. Example would be setting up variables. So it is used for input and output. So to make a decision, to take a decision, if you want to decide some conditions, then in flow chart you have to use this symbol which is used for decision. So condition block, one input, two or more of potential outputs. Make a decision on output based on the condition. Condition example would be, means if you want to decide that if A is greater than to B, so this is a question mark. So though there are two conditions, yes or no, so in this case we have to use this symbol for decision. This shows the direction of flow, in which direction your flow chart is going. Okay. Now let us move towards the instruction or functions which are used for decision making condition or for the condition itself. So the first one is if, then, else. So this is the statement used in a certain condition. So let us see. Sometimes few statements need to be executed only if the particular condition is satisfied. In that case, if then statement or else then is required. That means what? In certain cases, the program will be executed if the condition is satisfied only in that case if then else statement is used. In Python, compound statement if, elif and else is used, which conditionally executed block of statement. The syntax is as follows. Okay, now let us understand the condition. If expression statement s, okay, suppose if is given, if this is the condition which is denoted by this expression, again another statement is there, elif expression, again the statement is there, elif expression statement is there. That means what? If this condition is satisfied, then next statements are executed, else the remaining statements are executed. That means if the condition is satisfied, then its next statement is executed. Otherwise, if the condition is not satisfied, then the statement above the else is executed. For statement. So this is again a conditional statement. In Python, the for statement is used for repeated execution of a statement or a block of statement which is controlled by an iterable expression. So for is used for a condition which is repeatedly executed. So let us see. For target in iterable statement. So for statement is used in this way. So this is defined as for, then the target in and the iterations, and then you have the statement. So what do you mean by iterations or iterators? An iterator is an object I such that I.next can be called without any argument. Get it? This I.next returns the next item of operator 1, or when iterator I has no more items, raises a stop iteration exemption. Okay, so iteration means what? It is used to execute the next statement, and if no items are there, then the iterator is stop, or the iterations are stop. The for statement implicitly call iterator to get an iterator. Get it this? Python provides built-in functions range and xrange to generate and return integer sequence. The simplest way to loop n times in Python is, so for example, for I in xrange n statement s. So this defines the range. This is the starting statement and this is the increment. This is the middle condition. Range x return a list whose items are consecutive iterators from 0, which is included, up to x, which is excluded. Range xy returns a list whose items are consecutive integers from x, which is included, up to the y, which is excluded. Then the result is empty list if x is greater than the or equal to y. Now let's move towards the break statement. The break statement can only be used inside a loop body. Get it? So it is used inside a loop only. Whenever break executes, the loop terminates. Get it? So it is used to terminate the loop, which is where it is used. If loop is nested inside other loop, break terminates only the innermost nested loop. Nested means the loop is used inside a loop. If the break is used in the inner loop, then the inner loop is break first or terminate first, then the exterior loop. The syntax for loop is as follows. While true, this loop can be never terminate naturally. Okay, so you know that I explained you in last video, while never terminates. X is equal to get next, y is equal to process x. If not, keep looping xy, break. If this condition is not satisfying, then keep looking. Okay, otherwise break. Okay, otherwise it breaks. Okay, the else clause on loop statement. Both the while and for statement can use else clause. Okay, in both the loops, that means for and while, we used else clause. The statement after the else execute when the loop terminates naturally. However, if the loop terminates permanently via break, return, or an exception, then no further statement are executed. Get it this? That means what? The statement after the else execute when the loop terminates. एल्सच्या पुढचं जे स्टेटमेंट आहे ते कधी एक्झिक्यूट होईल? जेव्हा लूप टर्मिनेट होईल, नॅचरली टर्मिनेट होईल. हावेवर इफ द लूप टर्मिनेट्स prematurely, so means before it terminates due to via statement, due to break statement, due to return statement or any exception case, then no further statements are executed. ओके, प्रीमॅच्युअरली म्हणजे आधीच जर लूप ब्रेक झालं तर त्याच्या पुढचं कुठलंही स्टेटमेंट एक्झिक्यूट होत नाही. इफ अ लूप कंटेन्स वन और मोर ब्रेक स्टेटमेंट्स देन यूजर हॅज टू चेक वेदर द लूप टर्मिनेट्स नॅचरली और प्रीमॅच्युअरली. ओके, get it this? Okay. User can use an else clause on the loop for this purpose. So for this purpose we have to use else clause statement. So let us see how does it use. For y in some containers, if y is okay, y break. Okay, items y is satisfactorily terminates the loop, else print warning no satisfactory item was found in container, y is equal to none. What does it means? For here the y is check in some container. If y is okay, then your loop is terminate. Otherwise else what is printed? Warning no satisfactory item was found in the container. So this is the, then y is equal to none. The pass statement. The body of Python program cannot be empty. That means what? The body is never be empty. It must contain at least one statement. The pass statement can be used in that case. So whatever the program structure, okay, it cannot be empty. So one statement at least must be there. Okay, so in that case we have to use? The pass statement, which performs no action, means it doesn't generate any executable code, it doesn't generate any action. So when statement as per syntax is required and nothing is written there, then pass statement can be used. For example, if condition 1x process 1x, is it? If this condition is there, if and the what is the action that is given, that means the x is processed here. If x greater than 33 or condition 2x and x less than 5, pass. Nothing to be done in this case. Okay, that means what? When pass is executes, okay, no action can be taken, nothing can be done here. If condition 3x process 3, else process default x. So in this way pass statement is used. The try statement. In Python, the try statements includes try, expect, finally and else clause. Get it? What does it contains? Try, expect, finally and else clause. The try statement is used to catch exceptions that might be thrown as program executes. Okay, the try block tries to catch the errors. So why we use? It is used to catch the error, to detect the error. The try and except block in Python is used to catch and handle exceptions. So this is the purpose of try, to catch and handle the exceptions in a Python programming. So let us stop now. Thank you very much.